So Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's deal with Netflix, they just announced this morning it has come to an end as we know it.
Everybody lost interest in this show. It dropped like a stone. People didn't even want to make fun of it. They're just bored of it. The whole thing's a mess. This is a huge disaster for Meghan Markle.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle aren't as wealthy as they purport to be. They're likely living above their lifestyle. They're living in a massive mansion. They fly private.
King Charles has been so paranoid about what seems like a increasingly realistic prospect that at some point Prince Harry will be returning to him, cap in hand, asking for more money.
The news that everyone saw coming finally dropped, and it's absolutely brutal for Meghan Markle. Netflix just pulled the plug on her entire operation, and the financial devastation is about to be unlike anything we've ever seen.
So Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's deal with Netflix, they just announced this morning it has come to an end as we know it. This $100 million deal is boom, kaput.
$100 million down the drain, and Netflix had enough of her bullshit. But the real story isn't just about the cancellation, it's about why they cut her loose so ruthlessly.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's deal with Netflix is done because they couldn't bring home the bacon, okay? I think the folks at Netflix thought they're huge stars, everyone's gonna wanna hear from them.
Netflix executives genuinely thought they were signing the next big thing, but instead they got a woman who couldn't deliver anything of value. The streaming giant realized they'd been completely played by someone whose only skill was manipulating her way into a royal title. What's happening behind the scenes right now is pure chaos, and the financial implications are about to destroy everything Meghan thought she'd built. The cancellation hit Meghan like a freight train, but instead of accepting reality, she's gone into full panic mode. Sources say she's absolutely refusing to let this be the end of her Netflix dreams.
Meghan's camp is leaking stories that she's not done yet fighting to stay on with Netflix. In a desperate bid, they claim she is still in the midst of negotiations.
Can you imagine being so delusional that you think you can negotiate your way back from a complete disaster? Meghan's team is literally begging Netflix to give her another chance, which is the most pathetic thing I've ever heard. But the brutal truth about her future is even worse.
There's no way back now. There's no way back for a Series 3 unless she decides to fund it herself.
There's no way back from this level of failure. When your show bombs so badly that a streaming giant with unlimited money won't even consider a third season, you're officially done. But here's where it gets really desperate. Her PR team knows they can't spin this catastrophe.
This is the worst nightmare for a PR because you can't PR your way out of it.
When your own publicists are telling you there's no way to fix this mess, that's when you know you've hit rock bottom. But Netflix might be playing an even more calculated game than anyone realizes.
Netflix wants to be the outlet she takes if and when things fall apart with Prince Harry. They want the exclusive. That's why they continue to have that relationship with her.
So Netflix is basically keeping her around like a vulture waiting for roadkill. They want the exclusive rights to her inevitable divorce drama. That's not a business partnership, that's a death watch. Insiders report that Meghan has been making increasingly frantic calls to industry contacts, allegedly offering to work for free just to get another chance. Sources say she's been sobbing during meetings, completely unable to process that her grand Hollywood plan has collapsed so spectacularly. But the Netflix cancellation is just the tip of the iceberg. The real disaster is their complete financial meltdown that's been hidden from the public. The truth about their money situation is absolutely shocking.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are now living well beyond their means, not being able to rake in those big money deals.
They're broke. Not just we need to budget better broke, but genuinely living paycheck to paycheck while trying to maintain this ridiculous billionaire lifestyle. And it gets even worse when you realize what they're doing to survive.
And some speculation that they are now actually eating into the inheritance left by both Princess Diana and the Queen Mother.
They're literally eating their kids' inheritance money just to pay their monthly bills. Princess Diana and the Queen Mother left that money for future generations, and these two idiots are blowing it on private jets and designer clothes. But the math on their lifestyle is absolutely insane.
Harry is worth a maximum of, say, 35 or 40 million dollars. Their lifestyle requires a capital sum of $400 to $600 million.
Harry's got maybe 40 million total, but they're living like they have 20 times that amount. The financial insanity doesn't stop there. Their monthly expenses are completely out of control.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle aren't as wealthy as they purport to be. They're likely living above their lifestyle. They're living in a massive mansion. They fly private. They've got staff, security. They are buying clothes.
A massive mansion, private flights, full-time security, designer everything. They're burning through cash like its monopoly money. And here's the brutal reality about where all their Netflix money actually went.
They don't have that much money coming in anymore. I think they blew through all that money, especially after agents and lawyers and publicists, everybody takes their little cut of you.
Agents, lawyers, publicists, managers, everyone took their cut before Harry and Meghan even saw the money. Then they blew through what was left faster than anyone thought possible. Insiders say Meghan has been desperately calling financial advisors, reportedly screaming that she deserves to be wealthy and demanding they find new revenue streams immediately. Sources claim she's been looking into selling personal items and even considering mortgaging their Montecito mansion just to maintain their lifestyle. The financial crisis isn't just about bad spending. It's about Meghan's completely delusional expectations about what she deserves. Her goals are so ridiculous that industry insiders are literally laughing at her behind closed doors.
She is hoping that she's going to become a billionaire, which again is total insanity. I think the woman's expectations are so unrealistic.
A billionaire? This woman thinks she's going to become a billionaire when she can't even make a successful lifestyle show. The level of delusion here is actually clinical. She genuinely believes she deserves to be richer than most Fortune 500 CEOs. But the harsh reality is that neither she nor Harry has any actual business skills.
Prince Harry's never been someone who has run a successful business, right? Prince Harry was a prince. He would go to events, he would go to ribbon cuttings. He's not someone who ever ran a huge successful business.
Harry spent his entire life showing up to ribbon cuttings and waving at crowds. He has zero experience running anything, let alone building a billion-dollar empire. These two thought they could just waltz into Hollywood and print money without any actual talent or work ethic. Meanwhile, even King Charles is getting nervous about their inevitable financial collapse.
King Charles has been so paranoid about what seems like a increasingly realistic prospect that at some point Prince Harry will be returning to him, cap in hand, asking for more money.
Charles knows Harry is going to come crawling back for money eventually, and he's already preparing for that conversation. The royal family can see this train wreck coming from a mile away. But the most telling sign of their desperation is how they're cutting costs in the most pathetic ways possible.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have cut ties with their comms team as they focus on saving cash. It was revealed that they parted ways with 6 more employees, including their 2 in-house representatives.
They're firing their own communications team to save money. The same people who were supposed to help rebuild their reputation. It's like trying to put out a fire by getting rid of the fire department. Insiders report that Meghan has been having complete meltdowns about her failure to achieve billionaire status, allegedly throwing objects during meetings and screaming that everyone around her is incompetent. Sources say she's been researching other celebrities' net worth obsessively, convinced that she should be wealthier than Oprah by now. The delusions wouldn't matter if Meghan could actually deliver quality content, but her Netflix show became one of the most spectacular failures in streaming history. The industry backlash has been absolutely ruthless.
And it's really dented her reputation in this space because people have called the show smug and self-serving and narcissistic and everything, but without any value in the lifestyle space. You don't watch it and learn anything new.
Calling her show smug, self-serving, and narcissistic was just the beginning. People watched it expecting to learn something useful and instead got a masterclass in how not to make television. Even worse, the hate-watching strategy completely backfired.
And I'm interested to see also the fact the ratings were so bad because I half expected hate watching may have actually driven the numbers up, that people would watch it because it was so bad, but clearly that tactic has not worked.
When your show is so bad that people won't even watch it, ironically, you've achieved a special level of failure. Usually terrible content at least gets curiosity views, but Meghan managed to create something so boring that nobody cared enough to mock it properly.
But still, you would hope that something that had such a huge push, PR-wise, would land in your top 100 of 2025, and so far, not so great.
A show with massive promotional push from Netflix couldn't even crack the top 100 for 2025. That's not just failure, that's legendary incompetence. The actual numbers make it even more embarrassing.
Part 1 of season 1 ranked 383rd of all Netflix shows with 5.3 million views. Now keep in mind, that was, half of that was the first sort of curiosity factor. It dropped off significantly in the months to come. It did not have any longevity.
Ranking 383rd with only 5.3 million views is absolutely absolutely pathetic for a show backed by a $100 million deal. Half of those views were probably just people checking out the train wreck, and they never came back for more.
Everybody lost interest in this show. It dropped like a stone. People didn't even want to make fun of it. They're just bored of it. The whole thing's a mess. This is a huge disaster for Meghan Markle.
When people stop caring enough to even make fun of your content, that's when you know it's over. The show didn't just fail. It disappeared into irrelevance faster than anyone thought possible. Insiders say Netflix executives have been using Meghan's show as an example in meetings of what not to greenlight, essentially turning her failure into a cautionary tale for future projects. The show's failure isn't just about bad content, it's about Meghan's toxic reputation finally catching up with her. Industry professionals are openly explaining why nobody wants to touch her brand anymore.
Nothing Meghan touches is really of any great interest to people because they have been turned off by her abusive behavior towards the late Queen.
Her abusive behavior toward the royal family completely destroyed any goodwill she had with the public. People genuinely hate her for how she treated the late Queen, Prince Philip, and her own father. You can't build a lifestyle brand when everyone thinks you're a horrible person, but the industry's rejection goes even deeper than public opinion. There's no genuine interest in anything she creates.
I don't think Harry and Meghan are profitable. I think when they first left the royal family, there was intrigue, there was interest. We wanted to know what's it like being on the inside, being in the castle. We wanted to hear what they had to say. And then they just unmasked themselves as these liars.
They completely unmasked themselves as liars, and now nobody trusts anything they say. The initial curiosity about royal life quickly turned into disgust when people realized they were just watching two privileged complainers whine about their problems. The brutal truth is that authenticity matters in entertainment, and Meghan has none.
If they want to do TV and they want to do streaming, they need to be authentic and not be playing at being these people who are very pretentious. And for Netflix, I mean, it's not much of a return on that $100 million investment, is it?
Netflix invested $100 million and got absolutely nothing in return. When streaming giants with unlimited budgets consider you unprofitable, your career is essentially over. Even Netflix employees are furious about the wasted resources.
Yes, a huge group of employees lost their jobs, and they were super angry over Harry and Meghan's deal because they felt like it was in part due to Harry and Meghan's.
Imagine losing your job because your company blew money on Harry and Meghan's vanity projects. Those employees have every right to be angry. Their livelihoods were sacrificed for two people who delivered nothing of value.
There's no way Netflix can be happy with this either, because it's not just like people can say, well, it's just America and England that don't like her. No, it's the world can see she is not a genuine person.
The global rejection is what makes this irreversible. This isn't just America or Britain turning against her. The entire world can see she's fake. Sources report that major production companies have quietly blacklisted her, with executives warning each other that working with Meghan is professional poison. What we've witnessed is the complete destruction of someone who thought they could manipulate their way to the top without any actual talent or work ethic. Meghan burned every bridge she had: the royal family, her own father, Hollywood connections, and now even Netflix, all while maintaining this delusional belief that she deserved to be a billionaire. This serves as the perfect cautionary tale about what happens when narcissistic ambition meets cold reality. You can't build an empire on lies, victim narratives, and fake tears. Eventually, people see through the bullshit, and when they do, there's no amount of PR spin that can save you. The financial collapse we're seeing isn't just about bad investments or overspending, it's the inevitable result of two people who thought they were above the rules that apply to everyone else. They genuinely believed they could coast on royal connections and victim sympathy forever, but the entertainment industry is ruthless with people who can't deliver. I think what's really devastating here is that there's literally nowhere left for Meghan to go. She can't return to acting because nobody wants to hire her. She can't go back to the royal family because she torched those relationships. She can't succeed in lifestyle content because people find her completely inauthentic. And she can't even maintain her current lifestyle because the money is running out fast. Harry's situation might be even worse. He gave up everything for someone whose career just imploded spectacularly. The guy went from beloved prince to financial liability, and watching his inheritance disappear must be a special kind of hell. The most telling part is how the industry has completely turned on them. When your own employees get fired because of your failures and major companies start using your name as a warning to others, you've reached a level of toxicity that's almost impossible to recover from. So here's Here's the question that everyone's asking. After burning through a $100 million deal, destroying her reputation globally, and running out of money while maintaining impossible expectations, is there any path back to relevance for Meghan Markle? Or are we watching the final collapse of someone who flew too close to the sun with fake wings?